As previously mentioned, Proposition 227 passed in California's primary election with 61% of voters supporting the measure. Racial and ideological identifications were the driving factors behind the passage of Proposition 227. After Proposition 227, a child could be kept in bilingual education program if it had a waiver approved. While this new standard was implemented differently throughout the state, the overall percentage of LEP students enrolled in bilingual programs declined from 29% in 1998 to 11% in 1999. Bilingual education is a racially and ideologically charged issue, not just for voters, but for the researchers as well. There is a lack of consensus among scholars regarding bilingual education due to ideological biases, problematic methodology, and intellectual disagreement. A study conducted in Coastline Middle School documented how Mexican, Bosnians, and other minority students found themselves implementing educational practices that both welcomed and unwelcomed them based on the segregation they experienced through ESL programs. The outside practices of these ESL programs significantly affected the place they were considered to have in Coastline Middle School. Power was a huge influence on some of the decisions and actions taken by these ESL students and English-only supporters. From white middle-class point of view, teachers, students, and local communities surrounding the school were motivated to separate ESL students due to work issues, the concerns of local business, fear and violence, and the wish to maintain an academic advantage. Community members may have spoken about the value of diversity, yet they viewed students who were enrolled in ESL programs in ways that criminalized ESL groups and categorized others as model citizens. At a discourse level, white students suggested that there was no difference between students in the ESL program and the dominant white student population. One student stated, "Yeah, it's like they speak a different language, but they are no different than us." White teachers suggested that the increase in ESL student enrollment had made the school a better place. At the level of policy and instituted school structures, the school attempted to welcome students who enrolled in the ESL program by providing multicultural assemblies. In the social aspect, the separation was visible, especially in large spaces like the lunchroom. Only white students occupied the central row of tables, and only immigrant students sat on the tables on the right and left aisles. The lunchroom monitors not only permitted the segregation seating arrangement, but facilitated through various practices. Lunchroom monitors spent 2/3 of their time in close physical proximity to the central rows. Second, they behaved very differently with white students and with students who were newcomers. White students encountered a much friendlier lunch staff than the immigrant students sitting on the sides. For example, on numerous days we saw white lunchroom monitors and administrators joking with or talking to students but interacting with immigrant students only to reprimand them for inappropriate behavior. Some school staff made comments about the foreign students, which showed a lack of cultural understanding due to the segregation of ESL students. One cafeteria staff member stated, "Foreign students make the lunchroom so dirty. I just don't think that they have manners at home. They are a real problem. We have one of the largest breakfast programs now because we have so many ESL kids. I wonder if they are so messy because they are so hungry. I don't think they get food at home. They're just so poor, they eat as much as they can. I think it's because of what goes on at home." The lack of cultural awareness due to separating ESL students also affected them in manners of educational opportunities outside the classroom. For example, most of the immigrant students lived far from Kusnar and took buses to and from school. Kusnar tried to accommodate to the needs of minority students, but it was done in an unwelcoming manner. These students would only have 5 minutes to board the bus once school was over. This did not allow them to take part in extracurricular activities. Many immigrant parents did not own cars or worked two jobs, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, so transportation was an issue for these families. Consequently, most of the immigrant students were kept out of many group activities and events on Kusnar. The bus policy also labeled them as bus kids. Though their children were exhibiting different forms of segregation, most parents believed that the school was providing help for their kids by giving them basic materials and food. One parent stated, "No puedo decir nada malo en contra de los maestros. Al contrario, yo les agradezco aunque hay veces de que mi hijo no les entiende." Though some emphasized diversity, many complained that it caused more problems because there was one more thing to worry about. As a result, some teachers did suggest that more immigrant students get placed in special education as a pretext to reduce class size. Even though the school promoted diversity, segregating ESL students always seemed to be a suggestion among school staff.